You're not a bad rider. You're just making mistakes that feel like confidence, but actually kill your control. Cornering is the great ego trap because you think you're fine. You lean, you turn. You don't, you crash. So what's the problem? The problem is, the limit isn't obvious until it's already behind you. And most riders hit a plateau without even realizing it because they've been doing it their way for years and no one's called them out. So let's do that. 12 cornering mistakes, ranked by experience, not judgment. If even one of these stings a little, you're in the right place. Number 1. Braking after you started leaning. You're already committed to the corner, leaned in, line chosen, and then panic hits. Maybe the corner tightened. Maybe you went in too fast. Maybe your brain just whispered, "This was a mistake." So you grab the front brake. Big mistake. Braking after you've leaned in is a recipe for disaster, especially if it's abrupt. The front suspension compresses, grip shifts, and the contact patch shrinks. The tire's already managing lean angle forces. You just added another task. Too much, too fast, low side city. The better move, learn trail braking. It's not a race-only trick. It's a street survival skill. Done right, trail braking smoothly eases off brake pressure as lean increases, letting you adjust your speed while entering the corner without upsetting balance. If that sounds complicated, think of it this way. The front brake is like your hand on a sleeping baby. If you move it slowly, gently, they stay asleep. Yank it, you're waking the beast. And if you've already braked too late, trust the lean. Commit to the line. Use throttle and pressure, not panic, to guide your way through. It's counterintuitive, but 9 times out of 10, staying smooth and steady beats standing the bike up and grabbing levers in fear. Number 2. Looking right in front of your tire. Your front wheel isn't a crystal ball. It won't tell you anything useful about what's coming, only what's already happening. But too many riders ride like they're scanning for ants, eyes glued to the pavement 3 feet ahead, reacting instead of predicting. Here's the truth. Where your eyes go, your brain and your bike follows. That's not some Zen proverb. It's physics, biology, and bad habits all rolled into one. If you're staring at the road 5 feet ahead, you'll always be late. Late on the turn, late on the correction, late on the oh shit moment. Looking through the corner feels unnatural at first. Your brain wants to stare down danger. Gravel, potholes, that weird dark patch that might be water or oil. It wants to lock eyes with the threat. But the only way out is to look where you want to go, not where you're scared to end up. Try this. Next ride, force yourself to look at the exit of the corner, not the entry, not the midpoint, the exit. Your lines will clean up, your inputs will get smoother, and most importantly, your brain will stop reacting and start anticipating. It's not just a habit, it's the foundation of confident cornering. Stop scanning the ants. Start seeing the road. Number 3, overcorrecting mid-corner. You're already committed. You're leaned in, line chosen, throttle stable. And then something feels off. Maybe the corner tightened. Maybe your line's a bit wide. So you do the worst possible thing. Stand the bike up mid-turn to fix it. Congratulations, you just nuked the corner. Standing the bike up in a panic destroys your lean angle, messes with your suspension, and throws your line into chaos. Even worse, it tells your brain that cornering isn't safe, so next time, you'll hesitate more. Confidence dies one bad overcorrection at a time. But here's the thing. Most off feelings in a turn don't need a dramatic correction. They need a subtle one. More pressure on the inside bar, slight peg shift, tiny throttle input. Micro corrections, not full resets. Think of it like driving. You don't yank the wheel when the car drifts an inch. You adjust. Same goes for the bike. It wants to turn. It wants to hold a line. Let it. If you overcorrect every time something feels wrong, you're telling the bike and yourself you don't trust either of you. And that's the real problem. Great riders don't fix every mistake with a sledgehammer. They course correct like surgeons. You're already leaned in. Ride it out. Adjust. Don't abort. Number 4. Rolling off the throttle in the turn. This one's sneaky because it feels safe. You're leaned over mid-corner and something spooks you. So you roll off the throttle just a little, thinking it'll calm the bike down. It won't. It'll make everything worse. When you roll off mid-turn, weight suddenly shifts forward. That unweights the rear tire, unsettles the suspension, and messes with the chassis geometry, all while you're at a lean. The result? The bike stands up, tightens the turn, or worse, slides out. You just created drama where there was none. The throttle isn't just about speed, it's about stability. A neutral or slightly positive throttle through the turn helps the suspension stay planted, the tires stay loaded, and the bike hold its arc. That's the golden rule. Smooth on the way in, smooth throttle through. If you're not sure what to do with the throttle in a corner, aim for steady. Not coasting, not closing, just steady. Let the bike settle. Then, as you see the exit, roll on gently. It's like feeding it confidence. Riders who chop the throttle mid-corner often think they're riding safely. In reality, they're poking the bear. The bike is doing fine until you confuse it. Stay smooth, trust your line. Let the throttle hold you steady. Number 5. Too much inside lean, not enough outside pressure. You look leaned over in the photo, knee out, head down, elbow maybe hovering, but your outside foot just dangling. Your outside hand loose. Your actual control over the bike paper thin. This is the trap of mimicking lean without understanding load. In any turn, the real grip, the real control comes from how well you're managing weight through your contact patches. And one of the most effective tools, pressure on the outside peg and bar. That's what stabilizes the chassis, loads the suspension, and gives your tires something to bite into. But too many riders focus only on the lean inward. They flop into the turn, dangle their knee like it's a fashion accessory, and forget to press into the bike. It's like trying to push a shopping cart by pulling on the handle. The outside peg should be active. Your weight should be driving into it, not just for balance, but for feedback and connection. Same with the bar. Light pressure gives you precision. This kind of engagement turns a sketchy lean into a locked-in, confident arc. So don't just look lean. Be lean. Correctly. Train that outside engagement until it's second nature. It's the difference between carving the turn and just hoping it works out. Number 6. Counter steering without knowing you're doing it. You're riding along, taking corners, changing directions, and everything feels fine. So you assume you're doing it right. But if I asked you, how do you make the bike turn at speed? And you say, I lean. Congratulations, you're officially in the danger zone. Because here's the truth. Every bike at speed turns because of counter steering. Push left to go left. Push right to go right. It's not a theory, it's physics. But most riders don't consciously know they're doing it, which means when something goes wrong, they have no idea how to fix it. If your line is wide, they panic. If the corner tightens, they overcorrect. If a car drifts into their lane, they freeze. Why? Because their brain isn't wired to intentionally steer the bike. They're just reacting. The fix? Practice counter steering on purpose. Pick a line, push the bar, feel the result. Do it again. Know what it feels like to tighten a line mid-turn with pressure instead of panic. Know how little input it actually takes. Mastering counter steering isn't about corner speed, it's about control. When you finally connect what your hands do with what the bike does, everything clicks. It stops being magic and starts being muscle memory. And that's when riding becomes intentional, not accidental. Number 7, not using the whole lane. You treat your lane like a tightrope, glued to the center as if crossing into the outer thirds will summon a demon. But that middle lane habit, it's killing your cornering. Because corners aren't about staying safe in the middle. They're about setting up, carving through, and exiting with control, and that requires space. When you ignore the full width of the lane, you give up your most powerful cornering tool, geometry. Start wide. It opens your vision, flattens the curve, and gives you margin for error. Hit the apex, not as a buzzword, but as a physical place. Then exit wide again, carrying speed without drama. This isn't racing. It's not about being fast. It's about being deliberate. And using your whole lane doesn't mean crossing lines or riding like a maniac. It means knowing where the grip is, where your eyes should be, and where your bike wants to go. Riders who never learn this end up making every corner harder than it has to be. They chop throttle, drift wide, or stand the bike up mid-turn just to survive. Meanwhile, skilled riders look relaxed because they're working with space, not against it. Stop walking the tightrope. Use the dance floor. That's what it's there for. Number 8. Target fixation on road hazards. You see gravel. You stare at gravel. And surprise, you hit gravel. It's not magic. It's not bad luck. It's physics plus a little dash of panic. Target fixation is one of those primal instincts that betrays us. Your brain thinks it's helping. Look at the danger so we don't hit it. But motorcycles don't follow thoughts. They follow eyes. And when your eyes lock onto a hazard, your body steers the bike into it, not away. It's the riding equivalent of seeing a tree and yelling, "Don't hit the tree!" as you plow directly into it. The fix? Train yourself to look where you want to go. Not just in drills, but on real roads under real pressure. When you see a hazard, acknowledge it, but shift your gaze immediately to your escape path. Your hands will follow. It's also why experienced riders don't flinch at potholes, tar snakes, or road deer. They've trained their vision to prioritize flow, not fear. The trick isn't to pretend danger doesn't exist. It's to glance at it, process it, and move before your hands betray you. Because on a motorcycle, what you look at is what you hit. So unless you're aiming for that pile of sand, stop giving it a starring role. Number 9. Misjudging downhill or off-camber corners. These corners are the tricksters of the riding world. They look normal until you're halfway through and suddenly the bike feels like it's drifting, diving, or just wrong. Downhill corners reduce your available grip and make braking way less effective. Off-camber ones tilt the road away from your lean so the bike feels like it wants to slide outward. Combine the two, and you got a recipe for running wide, blowing your line, or tightening up mid-turn like you're riding on eggshells. Most riders don't prepare for this. They enter too fast, brake too late, and then tense up when the bike reacts differently than usual. But once you're in the turn, it's too late to think it through. The bike's already talking back. The smart move? Brake earlier than you think. Get your speed sorted before entry. Lower your body slightly to drop your center of gravity. Trust your lean angle. Yes, even if it feels steeper than usual. And most importantly, keep your throttle smooth. These corners aren't death traps. They just punish bad habits you can get away with on flat roads. Master them, and your overall cornering will evolve fast. Misjudge them, and you'll wonder why your confidence vanished in one curve. Number 10. Setting up too early or too late. Cornering isn't just about what happens in the turn. It's what you do before it that matters most. And most riders screw this up before they even lean. Set up too early and you'll apex too soon, forcing a wide exit, right into the opposite lane or shoulder. Set up too late and you'll panic on entry, dive in too sharp, and kill your corner speed. Either way, you're correcting instead of flowing, and corrections mid-turn always come at a cost. Proper setup means positioning your bike for a clean, predictable arc through the corner. Not guesswork, geometry. Enter from the outside, look through the turn, and wait for the right moment to tip in. That delay is hard at first. Feels like you're running on a road, but when done right, it opens up the turn instead of tightening it. The secret? Patience and vision. Train yourself to look further ahead. Read the corner shape early and resist the urge to just turn now. Your setup timing dictates everything. lean angle, exit line, throttle control. Get it right, and cornering feels effortless. Get it wrong, and it feels like a fight every single time. Most riders never realize this is the root of their cornering frustration. Number 11. Ignoring body position on street rides. A lot of riders save body movement for the track, or never use it at all. On the street, they sit bolt upright, arms stiff, hips locked, and wonder why every corner feels sketchy. Spoiler alert, it's not just the road surface, it's you. Ignoring body position is like trying to steer a canoe by leaning backward. You're asking the bike to do all the work, while you just sit there like a sack of potatoes. Even on the street, body position matters. It affects lean angle, grip, stability, and confidence. You don't have to hang off like Marquez, but you do need to shift your weight, drop a shoulder, and free up your arms. When you engage your core and get your head over the inside bar, you reduce lean angle for the same speed. That means more grip, less drama, and smoother exit. Your legs should grip the tank, your elbows should bend, your upper body should move. Most importantly, practice it when you're not going fast. Get into the habit of body awareness at slow speeds, gentle corners, city roundabouts. That way, when it really counts, it's already baked in. You can't fake confidence in corners, but you can build it. And it starts with how you sit on the bike every single ride. Number 12. Chasing speed instead of smoothness. Speed is intoxicating. Feels like progress. You hit a corner faster than last time, and your ego gives you a high five. But here's a trap. Chasing speed without control is how riders plateau or crash. Smoothness is the real flex. It's what separates someone who just goes fast from someone who rides well, because anyone can twist a throttle. But holding the perfect line, managing lean angle, modulating throttle, brake, and body position with no wasted motion, that's mastery. When you focus on smoothness, speed becomes a byproduct. You carry momentum instead of forcing it. You reduce inputs instead of overreacting. You recover easier from mistakes because your bike isn't twitchy and unsettled. You become predictable to yourself and to others. Ironically, riders who chase speed often end up slower because they override the bike's capabilities. They brake too late, stand up mid-corner, fight the throttle, and exit with less control. Try this. Ride your favorite twisty road at 80% of your pace, but aim to make every input feel seamless. No jerks, no panic corrections, just one continuous motion from entry to exit. You'll feel like a Jedi, and next time someone blows by you in a straight line, let them. You'll see them again in the gravel. Cornering isn't black magic. It's just a series of habits. And most of the mistakes we covered, they're not signs that you suck. They're signs that you've stopped noticing the details. The truth is, every rider hits these walls. What matters is whether you fix them or keep telling yourself they don't matter. So now it's your turn. Which of these mistakes do you catch yourself making? Be honest. Call yourself out in the comments. Or better yet, share the one mistake you used to make and how you fixed it. You might help someone else level up too. And if there's a cornering mistake you know I missed, you know what to do. Let's build a list that every rider can learn from.